Hello and welcome to my channel. Today my Gelli Plate is used. First of all, I have to say that not everything always works well. But I'll show you now how to get an attractive result anyway. So some experiments with the Gelli Plate. I've used them more than once in the past. Today I wanted to use them with my brushes too. The results didn't blow my mind, but when I used a beautiful stencil from Stamperia and was happy with the result. Now you can see that I use my special brayer from Ranger, and I like this brayer. It is an excellent brayer for distress oxides. I have also another one, but I used them in the past, but I think it didn't work well to get the color onto the brayer and then onto my Gelli Plate and afterwards on my paper. When you are using a lot your distress oxides, perhaps this brayer by Ranger will help you. There is also a video by Tim Holtz, and you can see the advantage of this brayer instead of another one. I now use the color Antique Linen for a lighter background and also use my brushes. I put these brushes in a small lockable pot. Please take a little bit of a powder. The color is highly pigmented and very intense. I also use a fan brush and put with this small fan brush my color onto my Gelli Plate. By the way, I sprinkle a little water on my powder and mix it up. I stuck my paint samples on the small pots so that I know which color is in which pot. You can't recognize it easily when only the water with color is inside the pots, and it is very easy if you have some examples from these colors on your pot. And by the way, this type of storage is a Lavinia idea. The box is sold in online shops, and I really like it to use it in this way. Now I show you my result of my painting, and I wasn't really satisfied with the result, and now I want to make it better and use now my big stencil from Stamperia. It is a 12 by 12 inch one, and you can also use a big stencil with a smaller paper. I show you now how I make a frame around my darker print. I don't like my dark print, I must say, but I will fix the problem now. I'll honestly admit that I didn't do well with the Gelli Plate print on this side, but that doesn't matter. With a few tricks and also with Gesso you can save the situation. I only use Antique Linen, and now you can see Mermaid Lagoon. That works really well. I use the paint leftovers on the stencil and also from my brush. In my eyes it looks now better, and you can see that the paint from Mermaid Lagoon and Antique Linen mixed together, and so you have a greenish color, but I like it. And I use now my brush with the Antique Linen, and I use always my leftovers because you can make a vintage impression with your brush. I bought these brushes from Action and bought them in the cosmetics department. There they are very cheap and in my opinion just as good as the other ones that are sold in the craft store. But everyone has to decide that works for you. In order to make the whole thing a bit more uniform, I also use the template on, not the template, the stencil on the other papers. This is partly watercolor paper and partly just thicker paper with no special absorbent properties. I really enjoy working with this stencil. I can't stop doing this, it's almost addicting. I still like the lighter print better than the other one. Now comes a tip for down tuning the colors. I use a less opaque gesso for this. I also got my gesso from the Action store. I like using it for this purpose. If I want to make something really opaque, then I use something else that is, I think, a better quality. But for certain things, Action's gesso is just perfect. As you can see, I'm using my old battered brush again, but for applying gesso it's no drama. You have to apply the gesso in one layer first and then just wait and see. After drying, you can then decide whether you need another layer to make the colors lighter. By the way, another tip for you, I like to use old candy boxes or boxes of chocolate to mix my colors or for my gesso. That's the plastic inside, when I don't have to clean it and throw it afterwards away. There are so many different patterns and possibilities on this large template. I'm surprised myself how well it works. The frame design for my site turned out really well, I think. Anyway, I like it. By the way, there are also notes in the pattern of the template here. I'm leaving out the sheet music though, because I can't use it for my album or journal at the moment. I'm very a fan of music and I like music, but it doesn't quite fit my intended theme. But I won't tell you today what I'm going to use the pages for. You will see it in one of my next videos, and I'm planning to do a very nice album, and I still have the cover. I made it last year, but I will show you everything next time. I really can only encourage you to try out stencils. You can actually buy them quite cheaply and get so much use out of them. Today I use it with distress oxides and my brushes, but other times you can also use it with structure pastes or modeling pastes. I really enjoy it, and when I see the great effects on the paper, and that makes me very happy. Crafting is so relaxing. And now see these really nice results. I have a bigger sheet and I used this sheet for my brayer. I always use paper to roll out my brayer when I strip the paint off, but the paper can also be used very well. You don't have to throw that away. Now you see that I cover also my paper with paint and my stencil, but I have a little problem with the dark corner on the top, and I don't like these dark effects. And yeah, and now again I am using Gesso. Gesso helps sometimes very well. Gesso is always a good way to change up the paper. Sometimes you have paper, the pattern or the color is jumping into your face. I hope you understand what I mean. And yeah, you can fix the problem with Gesso, and yeah, you can make it lighter. This is blue copy paper, by the way. You get that in a larger set with different colors. But I need the blue one for, yeah, I can tell you, for my album. I just want to create a very delicate background and use the colors that are on the stencils above. There are still paint residues on my brush. Everything is used, nothing wasted. Because you use the paint leftovers, the result is much more delicate. Now you can see I turn the page a little bit so I can see the result of my pattern for a smaller album. Isn't it lovely to do something on your own? Now I have some beautiful background papers thanks to Stamperia's Stencil. The pages match in color, and even my already created stamp motifs fit harmoniously into the picture. I really like that. You can work tone on tone, and I want to say that I really like my results and they really fit well to my planned cover, I can tell you, but you will see. Thank you very much for your visit, and I am glad that you spent time with me and my video. I wish you a wonderful day. Have a nice week. Maybe we'll see each other again soon on this channel. And yeah, if you want, you can like the video and subscribe, and perhaps you can write a little comment. I will answer as soon as possible. Bye.